I mean, I got a haircut, like I said, like a couple weeks ago, and it's already. This is after 2.5 weeks now. I'm already due.
Rocky's ready.
I cut my hair once a week. On my own.
What do you do with a razor, like a face razor?
No, I just have a like a wall buzzer, and I just put it on a 1, the lowest setting, and just go.
And that's it. You don't miss any spots?
Try not to.
I want to see just a couple of long hairs like this long on the side that he missed every time. That's what
I mean. I miss spots shaving all the time. Shaving your head, I guess you miss a lot of spots.
Yeah, well, see, I'm the opposite. I'll go like weeks without shaving, and nobody even notices. So,
I can't go like 1 or 2 days without shaving. That's it. So, on a side note, guys, I just want to show you something. I want to show you guys 2 things. So, for my upcoming event, Dress to Impress, I got these pretty cool dress socks.
Cool dress socks. Okay.
You see those?
Mike Tyson punch out socks.
Yeah.
Look at that.
I am pretty excited, so I'll be wearing this to my Dress to Impress event with the Mike Tyson's punch out. Then let me show you guys this. I don't know, you guys are older than me, so you probably didn't have this. Actually, I didn't have it really too, but I still got a good deal on it. Is Battle Trolls. You guys remember Battle Trolls?
Battle Trolls.
They're basically like the trolls, and they just trying to make them like appeal more to boys, so they would.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I know of them. I did not have them.
I did not have them. I always wanted them, but now I got one in the box. It's like a Battle Troll vehicle or whatever. I don't know. It was $10. I mean, I couldn't go wrong.
Because Battle Trolls need to get around.
I don't remember Battle Troll.
I have one in the box actually. Hanging up, pretty cool. Suited up as Army man.
I thought you lost you there for a second.
I thought we froze you. He was just very still. I thought he was frozen.
I'm back now. I said we got started.
You want to get started? Okay.
All right. Guys, welcome to Rocky and Bobby's Retro Collectibles with co-host Uncle Tom, a.k.a. Tommy Karate. What is going on?
What is up? I'm super excited for this episode because this is my favorite action figure line of all time. So super excited.
That is very true. And this also won Best Figures, right? Best action figure line.
I think it did. Yeah.
This was number 1.
This is super exciting.
Today we have a special guest. You guys probably saw him in the comments. He is one of Jackhound Promotions' longtime timekeeper and scorekeeper. He is also one of Tommy Karate's best friends since like elementary school or kindergarten or some crap like that. I mean, I'm sure they'll tell you. But Mr. Mike Vanato, what is going on?
I am doing good. I'm excited for this too. I was waiting like for a He-Man or something like that to come along. I was patiently waiting each week for He-Man to come about.
I got to be honest, I wasn't a big He-Man fan, and all of a sudden now I'm just like a huge He-Man fan because Tom kind of like brought it out of me again.
Once you start talking about it.
Were you too young, Bobby, for like He-Man when it first really came out?
I was too young, so I only had like I always told Tom, I remember getting one He-Man myself. I don't remember. I just remember playing with Tom's He-Man. But then, like, as Tom started talking about the He-Man and stuff, I started realizing, man, these things are so cool. I remember all of them. But, like, Tom actually remembers getting them at the store. I only remember getting one at the store.
Right.
See, I always describe myself as having, like, the poo-poo platter of toys because I had, like, 5 He-Man. I had, like, 4 G.I. Joes, like, 5, like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and like that. I never had, like, full sets of anything. I always had just a handful. So whenever I was playing with toys with friends, it was basically bring your own, or it's going to be like Optimus Prime versus He-Man because that's all I got around right now.
But that's not bad, though. That's never bad.
That can make a
good... I mean, you would want to see that fight, wouldn't you? You want to know
that would be a good fight.
That is very true. Before we get really into this episode, let's talk about something that you guys did. Obviously it was a while ago. I don't know what year. I guess you guys will really take it from here. But you guys dressed up as He-Man and Skeletor, I believe.
We did actually. Back in the day, we
Right.
dressed as He-Man and Skeletor for Halloween one year. Do you remember what year that was, Mike? Off the top of your head?
I think it was 2004, and I'm glad that you at least said Halloween. We didn't just do this just for the hell of it.
Yeah.
It was
Just to
Halloween.
make sure we know.
There was a reason why we did it. It
Now,
wasn't like,
back-
hey, it's Thursday,
back
let's
then-
do this.
Yeah. And back then, there was no He-Man or Skeletor official costume. So-
No, we had
Me and Mike decided we wanted to be He-Man and Skeletor, so we just decided let's make our own costume. And
Who was? You're gonna show us the picture because we're gonna say who was better, right?
There's
well,
no
we
question
ran
for
into a
which
few
costume
issues.
is better.
We ran into a few issues. So hold on, I'll pull up one of the.
I say that Tom's looked amazing.
So-
mine needed some work there.
Let me,
wow.
let me see if I can
Tom,
zoom
you
in
was
on this a
He-Man
little
and
bit.
Mike was Skeletor. Those are good costumes, guys.
Yeah, so this was man, this is when we were.
Is that Mrs. Claus behind you guys?
That's actually supposed to be strawberry shortcake. That's my wife. Strawberry shortcake.
It looked like Mrs. Claus from the angle.
So this was us at the Halloween parade over in the city. Hold
Those
on,
are
let me
pretty good costumes.
pull this one up. Hold on
Considering
a
we made
second.
them pretty much from scratch. I think the only thing that we bought straight up was Tom's muscle suit. I tried doing similar, but to make it like blue, but that didn't happen. And I think the wig. I think everything else was kind of made from other things.
Yeah.
Guys, if you are watching right now, can you just comment in on who do you think was better, Mike as Skeletor or Tom as He-Man? Because I don't know who to pick. They both are actually really good costumes. Maurice, who do you think is better though, Skeletor or He-Man? I mean, they're good costumes.
I'm voting for He-Man because I think He-Man was definitely came great. Skeletor, there's a whole bunch of stories behind the Skeletor costume. How
Yeah, we ran
it
into.
come together. Yeah, it was.
But
it was
looks good. Pull a picture up one more time again, though.
Actually, have
Hopefully there's
one
a-
more
hopefully there's a
where
better
we found She-Ra over at the parade. So here's
we ran into She-Ra while we were
ran
there.
into She-Ra. So here's a pretty good picture. I mean, man, my wig.
You know what? I'm gonna go with Skeletor because Tom looks like a tranny. With that wig, come on.
Oh man.
That mask
Everyone
was
said-
actually glued to my face, so I could open my mouth and talk with it.
Yeah, his
Like-
mask. Yep,
That
Ah.
mask,
his mask was actually functional.
I
Yeah,
feel like
but-
his mask should have been more green or yellowish, right? Green yellowish.
it should have been like that yellowy
Yeah.
green, but
Yeah.
again, based on the long story behind it, it never got around to getting painted to be the color. So
Ah.
I wanted to do glow in the dark, like a yellowish thing, so at night it would really glow, but it never
Yeah.
made it that far.
Yeah, it was.
We got two comments, both agreeing on He-Man.
Yeah, I agree with He-Man too. Yeah, Skeletor was. If Skeletor, if I made a little bit more effort, it probably could have made it, but it didn't. It didn't work.
The thing was, Mike was actually going to have a muscle suit under his as well, and Mike tried
You know what?
dyeing it.
Yeah,
And it
I just
didn't,
realized he didn't
They're
have
drawn on right there.
it didn't work, so he ended up. Yeah.
Should we tell what that actually the light blue is actually from? It's actually from the sweatpants and the sweatshirt from the women's department at Walmart. That was the only thing I could find in that pale blue. That was it. Nothing
Hey,
else. Nowhere
yeah.
we went.
And I
blue
think
right.
my
you gotta go Walmart.
yeah, I think my leggings were the same thing. I think they were women's.
Yeah, I think they were like women's
Oh.
sweatpants or something.
We all know I have
Oh,
chicken legs, so there was no way I was going to go with just wearing the skirt and He-Man
That is
or
pretty
loincloth,
legit.
if you want to call it. Yeah.
I gotta be honest. Both those costumes are pretty good. After we do all these episodes, we might want to have a Halloween costume party on just 80s toy lines or
You know what's-
cartoon lines.
that
or
would-
whatever
You know
you
what's
wanna say.
interesting, and I don't have the picture up. Maybe I could find it and post it a little bit later. While we're doing the show, I can look it up. But while we were dressed as that, it seemed to be 80s night over at the Halloween parade that year. and we bumped into
Oh God, there was so
Ninja
many.
Turtles, GI Joes, Karate Kid. We have a group picture.
We had Transformers.
Transformers.
We
We had
had
like a
Transformers, like legit looking classic '80s, like Optimus Prime, like everything. Like it was unbelievable. Some of the costumes people went through.
yeah. I'll see if I can pull them up. Maybe we can put them on to the end of the show.
Wow.
We'll have to do
I'm
that
gonna say
parade one
this
more time.
as of now, guys. If you guys are watching this, I'm gonna throw a. I was gonna throw this a couple years ago. I was gonna throw a Halloween party at the gym, and I was gonna do only boxing, kickboxing, martial art movies theme that you have to dress up. But screw it. I'm gonna go with 80s theme. Let's do.
Oh,
we're gonna do a
man.
Halloween party at the gym, and we're gonna do a costume party, costume contest. 80s.
Whoever's
theme.
listening right now.
You guys are invited. We'll do it like the Saturday night before Halloween. You know, the week before Halloween. All right. So whatever that Saturday is, as long as I don't have a show that day, we will be doing a 80s costume party at the gym. Everyone's invited.
Wow.
Not like everyone, but like everyone. I mean, you know, not like everyone, but everyone.
You guys heard it here first.
Yeah, that's it. All right, guys, let's get into it. Mike, you watch the show. Obviously, you comment a bunch of times. So we go with 2 honorable mentions. Then we go with the whole list of the top masters of the universe. And as our guest, we're gonna have you go first with your 2 honorable mentions. Mike, take it from here.
All right. So for honorable mention, this was hard because it was really kind of hard to narrow everybody down. And I was telling Tom the other day, like I kind of went with mostly the mainstream characters. I didn't do any real offshoots or any like the stuff that came out later on. But my first honorable mention, I didn't have this figure, but I went with Prince Adam. I went with Prince Adam as an honorable mention because for one reason only. If you had the Prince Adam figure, you could pretend to do by the power of Grayskull and transform him into He-Man. You couldn't do that if all you had was He-Man. So, I mean, he was literally, you would do it and then throw his ass away because now you're playing with He-Man. But that was the only reason why. It's because you could actually do it. After that, Adam. Pink vest and lavender tights you didn't need after that, but you know.
After that, you're playing with a guy with what, purple or pink pants? Which color pants does he have?
Yeah, it was like lavender tights and like a pink vest and a little white shirt under it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even know. Did he even come with weapons? I honestly don't even know. But it was literally a throwaway.
He came with like a lavender sword.
Did he? Oh, he had a lavender sword. That's pretty.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's pretty, but okay. So that was my first honorable mention. My next honorable mention it's probably, I have a feeling, going to be on somebody's like actual top 5, but I have them just for my own reasons. My next one is Faker. Faker is the evil robot He-Man.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the reason why is because of the fact that in the cartoon, he looked exactly like He-Man, except he was a little more like kind of robot sounding and like his eyes were glowing, whatever. But the actual action figure was purple. He was a purple version. He was basically He-Man with a palette swap, and like Skeletor's armor, and it was orange. I was like, so who is this actually supposed to fool? Like,
it doesn't fool anyone.
Hey, He-Man, you look a little different. Are you feeling okay? Like it was not even close.
In real life,
so you were playing with it. Yeah, it doesn't. It's like you're not going to fool anybody like with this. So, and I think if you took like the Skeletor armor off, he had like a little like robot like sticker looking thing on his chest, something like that. But those are my 2 honorable mentions, just because they were, one, you weren't going to fool anybody, and you could do the actual transformation into He-Man. So those were my honorable mentions for those reasons.
Those are pretty good. Those could definitely be on a top 5 list, I think.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm expecting to see on a top 5, but I went with my honorable mentions for them.
Nice. All right, Tom, what do you got?
Honorable mentions, number 1, and again, this list super hard because I love all these figures, but my first honorable mention is going to be Beastman. So,
wow.
Okay.
If
pretty mainstream too.
Yeah, he's a pretty mainstream guy, but he didn't make my top 5. So yeah, it is Beastman with his whip and his armor, shoulder pads. So he was a cool figure, but he didn't make my top 5.
Yeah. What is that thing? Was that whip? What is that?
Yeah, he came with a whip. I guess it was supposed to be like he's like a tamer. Like he's
Oh, okay.
taming other animals. Yeah.
He's taming the wild beasts because
Yeah.
he's a beast.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
just thought his face was funny because he looks like he's painted up like looks like the new movie Joker. Like he looks like that with the little triangle things on his face.
Oh yeah. Actually, Mike's. Yeah. If we can get it.
I
Yeah.
don't know. Can you zoom in?
If
All
we
right, a
can
little bit. All right, yeah. Well, a little more blue than expected, but yeah.
Right. Right.
wow, zoomed in. That dude looks scary.
Yeah. Man, maybe I should have bumped him up my list.
Oh,
Yeah. So that was my one honorable mention. My other one, this guy wasn't so much a mainstream guy, but the reason why he makes my list, and I'm gonna bring him up right now, Cyclone. I don't know if you guys remember this guy.
Yes. Oh, I remember him.
So
He's
Remember,
now, right?
remember the figure, yeah.
yeah, and he has a little button on the back you would push, and his arms would come up to the side, and he would just like spin around. And the biggest thing with this was back in the day, you couldn't look up online. You didn't know when the next wave of figures were coming out, who's going to be in the next wave, how many figures, when's Toys R Us getting the next thing. All I know is my dad came home one day, like sweating. He's like all in, all in a huff and puff. And I'm like, Dad, what happened? And he's like, you don't know what I went through. I knew you wanted this figure and you didn't have him yet. And he's like, I got into a fight with the girl at Toys R Us with the mom. She's trying to grab the figure. I grabbed him first. She's trying to rip it out of my hand. He's fighting with moms in Toys R Us over this figure. And I mean,
and he's proud of it.
yeah, he's coming home and he's like, I got this guy for
Oh.
you. And it just reminds me of like how, and I know Bobby's the same way, but how we are with our kids too. Like I'm like,
Yeah.
I'll go to that toy store. I'll fight with moms and dads or
Oh,
whoever.
yeah.
If I got to get a certain toy, I'll do it. And
That's it.
that's why he comes up as one of my honorable mentions.
Yeah, once again, those are two good honorable mentions, I think.
Solid. We got
Solid.
Brian.
we got-
Brian thinks so.
We got Brian. You at work? Are you at work?
Is he at work?
You should be at work. You know, he always tells me he can't come on the podcast because he's on work. He's at work.
Oh man. Oh
Work.
man.
I'm saying he's not, but he's
Yeah. Don't worry, Brian. Timmy took your spot on next week's episode. Just letting you know. Don't worry, we replaced you already. We replaced you. The funniest thing is I have my list written over here, and my handwriting is so bad, and I'm like trying to read what I wrote. But
Man.
my two honorable mentions are Manny Faces,
Many faces.
which is definitely a
Okay.
cool one.
Yep.
Then I don't even know how you pronounce this. Manny Neck. Well, how you pronounce it?
Mechaneck.
neck.
Mechaneck. Yeah.
If you guys can see my handwriting, I don't know if you can see that, but I can't read what I wrote. those are my two honorable mentions.
Mechaneck was yeah.
Mechaneck. Yeah, I definitely can't read that says Mechaneck. That yeah, my handwriting's pretty bad.
Mechaneck was cool though with that extending neck.
Yeah, and Manny Faces I think was cool just because you get to flip them around and have three faces. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
oh, that's legit. Oh, that's definitely legit. What
Yeah.
is that, a baseball bat?
Yeah, some kind of clubs. He's gonna club his
It
people
looks
in
like
the
a
head.
it looks like a bugle, like the snack chip. He's like sitting there
Oh,
like with the
definitely
bugle.
Yeah, actually it
Like a
does.
Bugle. Oh my god, yeah. Yeah. But that was definitely a great figure.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It
Definitely
was.
a great figure. All right, so we got some good honorable mentions.
Yeah.
All right,
now-
Mike, you're gonna take it with your top 5.
Oh man.
Okay.
All right, let's
All right,
hear it.
ready to- all right. Actually, to start out my 5 was just mentioned. My number 5 was Manny Faces.
Many faces.
Wow.
Manny Faces was my number 5 again because you could sit there, and, you twist the little head, and there was like the monster there. There was the robot if you turned it again. So I mean, it was just interesting for the fact that you could now have a toy and at the very least portray him as something else. It didn't have to just be a Beastman, Merman, whatever it was. It could potentially be something. I mean, the body was still exactly the same, but you could change the face a little bit.
Right. He has a little
Oh,
knob on the
yeah.
top.
Yeah.
He had the little knob, you switch it around, and he became someone else. So I mean,
Yeah.
So
Now,
that was my.
that one's real legit. If you guys follow, me and Rocky are collecting the WWE Masters of the Universe, the remakes of the wrestlers and the He-Man. They just came out with Manny Faces, which is like a wrestling tag team of 3 guys. So they did Manny Faces. That was a pretty good idea.
That was good.
Rocky just took one of the He-Man off the table right now.
I hope that wasn't one of your choices, so now you're gonna forget who was next.
Yeah.
What are you doing, buddy? I give thumbs up on that one.
Thumbs up. I give it a thumbs up.
Okay, so going now with my number 4, I am going with original, no special edition version, just plain old regular Skeletor.
Oh,
The original
Okay.
Skeletor.
Oh, okay.
I'm going with Skeletor because, aside from the fact we need a villain on here, but it's also the fact that Skeletor, when you think about Skeletor, that figure, he was actually kind of scary for a little kid. You're seeing this skull face with in this case, it's got like red glowing eyes and stuff like that. I don't remember the red in the eyes. I thought it was like black hollow eyes, but that like glowing yellow green skull. I mean, he came with the other half of like the power sword. He had his staff there with like the ram's head on it. The armor and everything like that was on him. There was kind of an intimidating kind of character. That was a scary character. So it was a good one to have. Plus, he's, the leader of the bad guys. So you got to have, you want that. That's the one you want to have.
Yeah.
Like, you have to agree with Mike on this whole thing. Like I don't have, not to say my list, but I don't have Skeletor or He-Man on my list, but they should be on top 5 for sure.
Interesting picks.
So-
Interesting hints on Bobby there with his list.
Yeah, so we're getting we know a couple that are not somehow on this list. All right.
Well, I definitely give a thumbs up on Skeletor. I don't know how you can't give a thumbs up on Skeletor.
Yeah.
All right. So number 3, coming in third, is one of Skeletor's favorite lackeys, Trapjaw.
Oh,
Trapjaw.
okay.
Trapjaw is my number 3 because of all the attachments for the arm. He'd have that floppy jaw where you'd sit there, you turn the head, and it would drop so you could sit there and kind of fool with the jaw and everything like that. But he had like a hook, you had the hook for it. He had other attachments, I think one was like a laser kind of thing. I think he had like a claw attachment.
Yep.
But it was just an interesting character because you could interchange all those things. It wasn't just weapons. It was weapons, but it was just actually part of him. So, it was something like special to play with, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
That definitely legit figure. Definitely legit.
Trapjaw is definitely legit.
Clearly Tom pulled that up pretty fast.
Bobby knows when they pull up certain figures. He's like, wait a minute.
He pulled that one up pretty fast.
It's waiting in the wings. He's ready. He knows he's going to need it later.
Yeah, I wonder if that's on someone else's list.
Okay, so now we're at my number 2. My number 2 and my number 1, I kept going back and forth with. I finally decided to actually, it was originally my number 1. I moved it to number 2. But my number 2 is Battle Armor He-Man. Not the regular He-Man, the Battle Armor He-Man. Usually people call it Battle Damage He-Man.
Oh,
but the
actual, that's what I was going to say, yeah.
The real name is Battle Armor He-Man, where you would sit there and he would take a hit and he'd have the damage across the chest. Yes.
Yep.
It had that little spring-loaded section. If you hit it, it would go it had like a big gash on it. If you hit it again, there was like another gash on it.
Yep.
So it would be, it looked like you could actually fight. The reason why I bumped him down to 2, though, was because it's He-Man. He doesn't need armor. He's never worn armor. He didn't need to wear it. So it was one of those it was kind of it gave you the feeling okay, this is now he's like a real guy. He has to wear armor, but he didn't need to wear armor. So that's what bumped him down from number 1.
Wow.
But Battle Damage He-Man, it was just fun to play because even if it was just hitting it and resetting it, because you had to just sit there and thumb it up to get it back into place.
Oh yeah.
That was always the fun part of it. Because
I
I made a Skeletor like that too.
I'm curious to see what his number 1's going to be.
Yeah, me too. I'm I think it'd be He-Man. That's my guess, but I don't know.
No, it is not. It's not He-Man. My number 1, after going back and forth, because again, we're talking about the action figures. I went with my favorite when I was a kid, Ram Man.
Ram
Oh,
Man.
Ram Man was my favorite because of all the. I got a feeling Bob's going to go grab him. But Ram Man was a different figure from like every other figure. He had the body was completely different. All the other figures were like had the exact same body. Different. There you go. There he is.
There he is, Ram
in
Man.
all his stubby glory.
There's the Ram Man.
He was just. But like I said, you see him compared to the other figures. He's completely different. The arms are different. The body is different. The head is different. The head doesn't move. It's one solid piece for the body.
Yep.
It had that spring loaded where you would push him down and then you could pop him out like he was ramming into his head into whatever the hell it was that he was ramming into that particular episode. But
and his arms didn't move too much.
Yeah, he didn't. He couldn't like do anything like that. It was just very. And for some reason, I don't know why, because Bobby, you could justify it because you could see it right there. He had buttery, smooth, shiny arms. I don't know why.
Yeah, his arms were like a different like plastic.
That camera's not that good, but yeah, Mike is 100% right.
Yep.
100%
The arms were just completely different from every other figure. It was just like a different smooth plastic. It was shiny. He clearly waxes. I don't know why, but they were smooth and kissable, and you gotta love it. It was just fun because you could. I mean, for at least a few times, do that spring loader and he would bounce up and like hit something. So it was a fun figure to play with because of that feature. I mean, after like 5 times it broke, but before that,
yeah.
Well, I was just say the action on the one I have, it doesn't really work the best. Like you really got it. Yeah, it gets stuck. Yeah. Exactly. Yep. I give a thumbs up. That was a good 5. Mike, can you just repeat your 5 again?
Okay, go with number 5. We had Manny Faces. Number 4 was Skeletor. 3 was Trapjaw. Number 2 was Battle Armor He-Man. And number 1, Ram Man.
Wow,
it's a solid list. Solid list.
Very solid. Today, Tom, actually, because this is your favorite thing, I'm actually gonna go second.
Wow. Okay.
You know what I mean? Let me go second. You know, let you have the honors of explaining your top 5. This is your thing. So I'll go with my top 5.
This is your moment.
All right.
Yeah, this is your moment. My number 5 is Fisto. I don't know if you guys can see him. You know,
Fisto. Yeah.
Big fist. I do have him complete. I just can't find his sword. Maybe Rocky took it, but Fisto I think was pretty legit.
Fisto was legit. And the interesting thing about Masters of the Universe, they always came out with a good guy and bad guy that were similar. Or, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. So
a bad guy who had like a gold like hand, like similar.
Jitsu. So Jitsu was the bad villain version of him, and he had a gold metal chop hand. So, they always came out with the 2, you know.
Well, now that you brought that up, can you tell me who the bad guy is of this? Is my number 4 is Roboto.
Oh, I can't because Roboto actually, I believe, kind of was one of those characters that was like bad at first and then turned good. I don't think they came up with another, character to coincide with him.
Interesting.
Was it Manny Faces that way too? Wasn't he like a villain first?
And Manny Faces also. Yeah. And Zodak.
Zodak.
I don't think he's going to be on anybody's list. I think Zodak was like it.
The little guy?
No. Let me see if I can bring.
I'm hearing the name and I'm not remembering. I think that was Orko, the little.
See,
one.
Because everybody's thinking you'll know him when you see him, but he was such a odd character, I want to say.
Oh, I remember. He had like a weird like face and like beard. He had like the weird design thing like on his chest or something, like on his arm.
Yeah. So he
flip-flopped.
He was sometimes good, sometimes bad, sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, he would definitely be on no one's list. There's nothing special about him.
Right. He wasn't like a standout character or anything like that. Yeah.
Tom, I'm gonna need your help on how you pronounce my number 3 is Spiketor?
Spikor, yeah.
Spikor. Okay, Spikor. Can you throw a picture of him? Because I don't have him. I was very hard where I was going to put him on my list because he is pretty legit as a bad guy, I think. You know, with that shooting arm. What was that? Like a fork or a 3' arm and the spikes on his head? He was pretty legit.
Yeah,
I do
he
not
was-
remember that one at all. I
You
got
don't
hopefully if I
remember?
see the picture.
Yeah.
If I see
and
the picture, maybe I'll remember it.
he
But
was
I
like
don't remember.
purple, all purple, different shades of purple. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, now it looks familiar. Okay, yeah. Now I'm
Yeah, so this thing would extend. The
Oh,
toys
yeah.
nowadays, like when you find him, a lot of times this rubber armor. He had like rubber armor here. Sometimes this rips off, so he's just got a plain like purple blue chest.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
was the arm like spring loaded? Like you hit a button and
It
would
wasn't
extend?
spring loaded. It was basically would just slide right out. So if you pointed his arm down, kind of like how he is in a picture, it would slide out. And if you lifted his arm up, it would slide back in.
Yeah.
So it's gravity powered. Okay.
Gravity, yeah.
Powered by gravity. Okay.
A little bit.
Powered
And
by
then,
gravity.
It's
my
powered by
number
science.
My number 2, Tom probably thought was going to be my number 1, is
Interesting. Okay.
Stinkor.
Stinkor.
Which is, I keep calling him Taurus, which is the only, buddy, is
I know.
the only one that I remember getting as a kid, my own. Like, he was definitely my guy.
He
That's
was
the only one I
100%
remember.
your guy. And again, he was one of those figures that they came up with 2 figures at the same time. And
Who was
his
the other one?
opposing guy was Moss Man.
Moss Man, yeah.
And
Was the opposite of Stinkor?
yeah, so they both came out at the same time. And we actually got Moss Man and Stinkor at the same day. We were at a flea market. And they had Masters Universe guys. Bobby picked up Stinkor. I grabbed Moss Man.
That
So I
was,
mean, Mothman was basically like Beastman, just with like the mossy kind of
Yeah, he
green
was
with
just
like the
flocked
I think
green.
They use the same.
yeah, fuzzy.
It was that weird texture kind of a thing, but I think it
that's
was
the
like
thing
a
is-
Beastman base.
Most of these figures, they just repurposed, recolored, interchanged
Yeah.
some of the parts. And you would think for being so, I don't want to say the word lazy, or maybe that's not, but they were still very creative with the figures and still made an awesome toy line. And pretty much all they had was just, hey, interchange these parts, change the color of this. Okay, here's a new character, and that was it.
Well, I was watching when you put up the picture of Zodak. I'm looking at the feet, and I'm like, those were Skeletor legs. 'Cause
Yeah,
those were
Skeletor legs.
Oh, yeah.
Those little points. So
Yeah.
like they did it. They just repurposed
Yeah.
a character that was gonna be on my list. Stratos was gonna be on my list. He was the
Stratos.
body of Beastman because he had like the
Yeah.
fur, and they made it gray to make it be like feathers. So
Yep.
they did. They just repurposed a lot of the stuff and just changed the colors.
No, definitely they reused it. My number 1, I'm not gonna say too much about it because I want to save all my talking for the 1
your
minute.
1 minute.
thing. Yeah, because I figured
Enthusiasm. All right.
Tom's gonna have a really good 1 minute. But my number 1 is Too Bad.
Oh, too
Too
bad.
Bad.
Too Bad
Too
is my
Bad.
number 1. You guys all know the figure. You know it was legit. I'm not gonna say too much about it. That's it. So I'm gonna go through my number. Yeah, there it
There it
is
is.
right there.
There he is.
I don't really want to say anything. I want to save it all for the minute. But that's my number 1. I'll shoot
Too
my
Bad.
Too Bad
Solid-
is pretty legit. So
solid
I got
figure.
Fistor, Ribato, Spike Orr, Stink Thor, and Too Bad.
Wow.
That's my top 5. All right, Tom, we're gonna leave it to the legend over here. Your line.
All right.
I hope you have some good ones on your line.
I got some good ones on my line, and my number 5 is your number 1. Too bad.
Whoa!
Too bad.
That's another.
is-
He had the picture a little too quick. So
Yeah. I think I'm gonna start just downloading like every picture of every figure, so this way you can't. The legend. Too bad, and I don't want to talk too much about it because this is Bobby's number 1, so I don't want to give him too many talking
Yeah.
points in his 1 minute there. But 2
Oh,
heads.
that's true.
two-
Maybe
I
I
mean,
should have you.
you didn't see characters like this back in the day. They was in any other toy line. I mean, 2 heads on this, and just a shield. But if anybody remembers, those fists were spring loaded, so you'd pull them up, and they would come back together. So, and you can actually, they will reach and punch the other head. So you can actually make each one punch the head. And I'm really disappointed today because I thought I had my He-Man collection here, but I have it in storage. The ones I do have here are the 2000s versions. I don't have the 80s here in the house. So when I went to take them out, I realized I don't have them here. So I'm a little disappointed that I didn't have my figures for the show. But
I'm pretty disappointed, and I gotta tell you guys, I just ordered Too Bad, and my Too Bad should be here on Friday.
wow, Look at that.
There you go.
And I guess I
Man.
got him complete. I got him with the shield. Is that complete, Tom? I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's complete. That's all he had was his shield.
All right. So I
Yeah.
got complete. So yeah, $18 free shipping.
$18 free shipping.
Yeah, pretty good deal. Well, actually, I don't know. Tom, you tell me if that was a good
How
deal.
much- How
Sounds
much
pretty
would
good to
it have
me.
been like back in the day? You have to wonder. Like, what was it back in the 80s? How much did it cost like new? So
But the problem
I don't know what
having,
the prices were.
well, the
yeah,
prices
how much
are
was
very high for He-Man and Skeletor because I would like to get Rocky, He-Man, Skeletor. Not like Mike. I don't know if you saw this, but my Stinktor, he sucks. His legs are all loose. Like, I can't have Rocky play with him. It's just gonna be broken in 2 seconds. So, I
Even if
learned.
they one little pull and it's off.
Yeah, I learned a valuable lesson that Tom didn't really, help me out in this lesson. Make sure when you buy them, the legs are good.
All right, we'll
You have
say
to
it's good price.
email the seller. How are the legs on it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I bought my Fistor at Hastel Toys in Medford, and I got to feel his legs, and I got to feel Rebotto's legs, and I know they're good. So I was happy about that.
Hey, guys,
Yeah.
sometimes you got to feel the legs.
You got to feel the legs.
You got to sweep the legs. Sometimes you got to search the legs. That's how
That's
it is.
it. My number 4. I'm surprised actually no one has mentioned him yet, and I think this figure was a super cool figure. Man at Arms.
Yeah, that's a good figure.
This figure was a solid figure. He was Duncan, the right-hand man of He-Man.
That's what I was just going to say. Do you think he was a good figure or a good character?
Yeah,
Definitely a
that's
good
the
figure.
difference.
I mean, I was just going by figures, but I mean, look at his armor. His armor is different than everybody else's, right? So everybody else has shared armor and things like that. He's one of the only guys that had his own armor, and I think he's the only guy that had his own weapon that he didn't share this weapon with anybody else too. So, and I just thought he was a cool character. Bill's excited.
Mike, what do you think? I'm kind of going with that figure isn't as cool as all these other figures we've been talking about.
To me, Man at Arms, because again, basing it off of the cartoon, he wasn't like that cool of a character. So it's like he didn't really, I didn't have Man at Arms. You know what I think is so far? I don't know if Tom has any other ones left, but we didn't have any. There were female action figures for. We didn't have any Tila's, Evelyn's, we didn't have any. Hashtag feminism. We didn't have any of these things going on.
As of now, Tom made a face, so I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
Well, I don't want to give away my list, but Tila almost made my list. If you want to, I will say that.
Almost made the list. That
almost made
count.
my list. It's tough when you have 5. It is. It's tough when you have to come up with 5.
Tough.
So,
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So now we're going into my top 3 here. So my number 3, we already mentioned him before. I'll pull him up again over here, and he is no.
Oh.
Battle Armor He-Man.
See?
Battle Armor He-Man. Now, yes, we could have went and said, let's put He-Man up, original He-Man, which I thought about doing. But when Battle Armor He-Man came out, and Mike made a point, does He-Man need armor? But man, when this figure came out, and of course they made the opposing Skeletor as well, but it's He-Man, and now he has armor. Like, okay, He-Man was already badass as it was. How are you going to stop this guy? And now he's got freaking armor on. Like, this guy's jacked up out of his mind, and now you just put a suit of arms on this guy, and this guy is just unbelievable. And when you put this figure on top of Battle Cat, I mean, it is unbelievable, the look and just the aura and just what it gives off of badassness. I don't even know if that's a word. I'm making things up right now, but
badassness.
I mean, Tom, can you throw some of Bill's comments up? This guy's having a heart attack. He is loving you right now. This dude's loving you.
He's trying to Bill's.
This dude's getting excited. He's getting excited.
Absolutely.
Battle Armor, absolutely need.
Yeah, but
I know who Bill's gonna pick on who's number one. That's for sure. You can have the crappiest figure. Bill's gonna pick it. That's for sure.
Oh man, yeah, that's.
Oh.
I feel like that's stacking the deck against my
Yeah.
Ram Man here.
Oh.
Yeah. All right, so now we're gonna have to go into my number 2, and my number 2 was already mentioned as well. And I got to be honest, my number 2 was literally tied with my number 1. That I fought in my head, battled on who I'm gonna pick for my number 1. So this one comes in at number 2 by a hair. And
Oh man, I know what your number 1 is now.
you know what my number 1 is?
Yeah, because you kind of slipped up what your number 2 is.
My number 2 is Skeletor.
Skeletor, yeah.
The original Skeletor. And like Mike alluded to before, I mean, this is the ultimate bad guy. I mean, this guy is just a scary figure as it is when you're a child. And this guy just comes out, just his armor, his color, he's a skeleton. He's got this badass Havoc staff. I mean, look at this staff, this Havoc staff. And this thing, in a cartoon, it had magic and you could shoot things out of it, but they had to dumb him down and make him a little bit more foolish in the cartoons because of how badass Skeletor was as a character. And in the comic books, before the cartoons, in the comic books, they made this guy Skeletor was a badass barbarian sorceress. So I mean, and he's got the other half of the power sword. I mean, this guy he had this and a skull for a face.
Yeah. As I said, to a 4-year-old, 5-year-old, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
It is.
I wonder if Bill's they like your number 1. I wonder if he likes that.
Oh man. Well, I'm very passionate. Very passionate about my number 1.
Clearly, because we all know what it is.
Now, but like I said, Skeletor came in super, super close second. Super close second. So my
This guy Bill is cracking me out. Yo, did you like pay him or something? This guy killed your list so much.
Because you know what? Because you people don't know. I'm the Master of the Universe man over here. That's my jam. That's my jam. That's why I'm getting all excited.
I'm very surprised in your number 1, even though you mentioned this was your favorite character last week or the week before. You mentioned this was your favorite character.
Did I mention it?
Yes. That's how I kind of knew right away. Number 1 should be.
It was a tough, and it was a tough call because I do like Skeletor. But my number 1, and again mentioned before, Trap Jaw. Number 1, Master of the Universe figure of all time. I don't care what anybody tells me. He is the best figure, and just wait until we get to that 1 minute because I will tell you why he's the best figure of all time for Masters of the Universe.
Well, I don't know if there's any compete with you and Bill. I mean, you guys are like just I don't know how to compete against Mike. We have no chance in hell.
I mean, like, I feel like everyone is just going to automatically go towards that now because Tom's got them so hyped and so psyched that no matter what he would say, even if it wasn't Trapjaw, they were going to go for it right now because he's so passionate about it.
I don't know. Bill's booing on this one now. He's booing on this one. Yeah.
I have to give an impassioned speech for mine.
With the Trapjaw, it was kind of weird as a number 1, if you ask me. I was kind of, it's a weird number 1.
Okay.
Tom,
I got a minute to explain why it's number 1 when it comes up.
And Tom, I'm gonna give you last call on the number 1. I'll go second. So, but why don't you give us your top 5?
All right. So my top 5 was number 5 was Too Bad. Number 4, Man at Arms. Number 3, Battle Armor He-Man. Number 2, Skeletor, and number 1 is Trapjaw.
Very nice. These are all legit. Mike, as you know, you watched the show before. We're going to have a minute. You're going to go first. And actually, since this is Tom's favorite action figure line, I'm going to go second. And we're going to give the honors to Tom on going third on this minute. I am going second because I don't think I have a chance against Tom today.
I don't know because I got to be honest with you. Like Bill's the only one that commented in so far on my number 1, and he's not happy. But
yeah, that is very true. Very true. You're
How?
number
How?
one.
He wants to know how. How?
How?
Yeah.
How did this happen?
I'll tell you how,
Yeah.
Bill. I'll tell you how.
It's like, just
All
you wait.
right.
Just you wait. Like I said, I'm like, I got to do it. I'm gonna have to go like try and do this Bobby Jackhammer style, really impassioned and inflamed
And
to
Mike,
try
I'll
to
just hold the
win
figure
over
up.
the crowd.
I'll try to help you
You're gonna-
out.
All right,
Try to
good. I
help
need
you
that
out.
inspiration. Give me that
Yeah.
power. All
I-
right. So
Mike,
let me know
I'm with
when.
you. Though. I'm with you because we kind of want Tom to lose. I'm with you.
The enemy of my enemy. Okay. All right. All right. Is the clock going up? I don't know what.
Yeah,
yeah,
Tom,
okay, hold on.
Tom's
Sorry.
slacking. He must be thinking of what he's maybe saying.
No, because I was gonna try to grab something real fast, but let me see. Okay. All right, so we got the clock up. All right, Mike. Are you ready?
So I'm ready for my impassioned speech to convince you why Ram Man is the best.
All right, go for it.
First of all, inspirational music, royalty free. Ram Man is a character that no one would have expected. No one would have believed in him. He is a man. He is not the tallest. He's not the strongest. He sure as hell is not the smartest. But let's face it, he was a man that when he needed to ram his head into something, he was the guy that you would call. And they always needed to break a wall, break through a door, crack an entire friggin' mountain. Something was needed, and they needed Ram Man for that. He would just sit there, come up, go for it, and bam! There he was, right there, ready for everyone. Right here, he's gonna make the rest of the speech. Sit there, everyone, because look at him. He didn't even need stupid like he wore pants. He wore pants. He didn't have some loincloth and furry underwear. He would ram his head into whatever he needed with those buttery smooth arms, and he would be ready for anyone at any time. The hero and the true master of the universe.
Man, oh man.
Wow. Wow. I can't go now. How do I go now? Wow. Wow.
I'm speechless right now because Mike is the first person to come with his own music.
I brought my own royalty-free music. Take that, YouTube.
Buttery smooth arms.
Wow.
They were smooth and kissable. You know they were.
I don't know what to say. I mean, I was for sure today I would definitely lose against Tom, but I didn't know Mike was gonna come and just like steal the show.
Yeah,
I'm heavy. That's what happens right there.
Wow, I don't know if it, man.
You know what? I can't really bow down because you can't tell I'm bowing out, but I am bowing down to you because I gotta say. I usually bring fire, and I'm a very emotional guy. But Mike, yours was goddamn. That was good, Mike.
Thank you. I was channeling you for the energy and the passion. I needed that. I was going to be just a silly kind of, gentle speech, but no, I needed to go for the passion, and I still didn't quite tap into yours, but I did my best that I could.
Mike, I applaud you. I think you overdid me. I mean, you came. What is that thing? You printed out a Ram Man? What was that?
This is a printed out picture of Ram Man on a drinking straw, so that this way I could have him, available, and bam, ram his head right into the camera.
He came prepared. He came prepared.
I just want to say something. You guys watching this, and we bring you on the show. Learn from Mike. I mean, this is like this is because what Mike really did was he really made me want to step. I got to be honest. I'm not prepared today, but sure as hell I'm prepared next week because Mike is freaking. He brought it. This guy brought it. I mean,
he did bring it. He did bring it.
Wow.
He was prepared.
I can't. I mean, you don't even know the setup. I got this thing to try to get him to stand as some straws, keeping him attached and flop over.
Put Bill's comment up. I don't think I have fire today. I mean, these guys don't think I'm bringing fire. I don't know if I can. I'm competing with Tom today, who's master of He-Man, and then Mike comes along and just like hits me with like a 7-punch combo and added a biscuit and a 2-liter of soda with that. I mean, I don't know what the hell's going on.
I'm surprised with that. I'll go some more. Come on.
Soda on the side, man. He was. Wow. He really did, man.
Guys, that's what happens when you watch the show.
I'm even a little concerned about my 1 minute now.
I'm nervous.
Well, I pass over to you, Bobby. It's now your turn.
Now it's my turn. Now I'm going second. I never go second. Oh, now I'm nervous. All right, Tom,
All right,
whenever
so-
you're ready, give me a clock. I got no music. I got no crops. I mean, damn, Mike. Damn you, Mike.
Yeah. That man. All right. Let me pull up this timer again for you here. So you're number one. All right. It's Too Bad. You
Too
got a
Bad.
picture of him up? Oh no.
I don't have a picture. I don't know how you put a picture in a timer. Whatever you want to do. I mean, I'm good. Everyone knows who Too Bad is.
Do that. All right. Too Bad. Here we go. You ready? Let's get the timer up on the screen. All right. And ready?
I'm ready.
Go.
Guys, you guys should pick Too Bad. You know why? Because he's too bad. You get it? He's too bad. He's too bad. You have to pick him. He's so bad. This dude got 2 heads. He got 2 heads. How do you fight someone with 2 heads? I don't know about you guys. I fight for a living. Bang, bang, bang. I be punching one person in the face, but all of a sudden, damn, this guy got 2 faces. How do you punch a guy in the face when he has 2 faces? This guy got 2 faces. He got 2 brains. Look how smart Too Bad is. He got 2 brains. They could talk at the same time. He could have a conversation with his partner who's with his own body. They're too bad. They are together and they're too bad. 2 brains. You can't fight a guy. I'm spitting everywhere because Mike got me all amped up. But Too Bad would definitely kick the crap out of Trapjaw and Ram Man because he has 2 heads. He definitely can beat up both of them at the same time. Too Bad.
Time.
Man, oh man.
I
Hold on.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, Mike,
I don't know.
you
How do you
smoked
fight?
me today. You smoked me.
I don't know.
What?
I had-
what-
I had my wife drop a care package off to me.
Everyone's
I'm like,
doing crap. Oh.
I'm like, wait, are you getting assistance over here? What's happening?
Well, I needed something to help me with my. This is actually pretty cool. This should have been on the. I don't know if you guys can see that.
I see it. It's like,
This is the
what's
quick kick card for GI Joe, by the way.
oh, okay.
I don't know if it's picking up on the camera. The camera looks kind
no,
of weird.
for some reason
Yeah, it's like
it
it's like
is.
it's like you're holding up a green screen. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on a second, because I think I have.
If your wife is doing this, that's it. I'm getting an assistant.
Yeah, this is a little crazy right now.
Well,
I'm like, I prepared this myself. Okay, my wife looked at me like I was an idiot when I'm sitting here with this thing,
man,
sitting
this
here on a
is not.
straw. Like,
Yeah,
but
this
now
is not
his
the-
wife is sitting there giving him assistance.
Yeah, no, and I didn't get the right care package.
Aww.
Oh, too bad. Mike,
yeah.
do we
You're so
have
sad.
all this time to set up? I mean, this guy's setting up for a while over here.
I mean, I've been sitting here with my epic inspirational background music on my phone, ready to go since the show started. It's waiting right here.
Yeah, you
just
were
for that moment.
prepared.
Yeah, this guy's
had-
not prepared.
I'm
No.
like, I was ready to go because you know why?
I'm not
Because he
prepared.
feels threatened now by my Ram Man inspirational war cry that now he feels threatened
I,
and is looking for anything to try to
Mike,
salve.
we're gonna have to get
Man.
you back on the show because I want a rematch against Mike. that was crazy.
All right. Well,
Ain't gonna be no rematch. Ain't gonna be no
Like-
rematch.
I had one thing that he wanted. I don't have it in this care package, but
Look at Will. Will thumbs down for Tom. He's taking too long. Look at this guy talking over here.
all right. Well,
Minus
it was
2
one
points.
thing to kind of help me. But all right, here we go. So we got 1 minute for Trapjaw. Ready? Go. Masters of the Universe figures of all time. Best action figure is going to be Trapjaw. Why? Because one, he's got a metal jaw. He's got the metal teeth, green face, half robot arm that's super strong. On one side's a robot arm. On the other side, he's got attachments that he has a belt that actually carries every single attachment, including a laser gun, a claw, and a hook. And not only that, he has a hook on top of his head that you can put a string through. And this mofo is going to be sliding down, attacking other enemies from the top, from the air, coming down, attacking. Oh, what's the matter? He can't reach with his hook. You're too far away. Just quickly switch, put the other attachment on, attaches to his belt. And not only that, the figure comes with a super awesome glow-in-the-dark power ring that I was trying to find. I have it somewhere, but I can't find it in my care package right now. Glow-in-the-dark power ring. So he comes with a ring. He comes with a trap jaw, working jaw.
The end.
And I can't stop that.
Wow.
It's blowing up on me.
Oh, I see a lot of comments over there, Tom.
My package came late.
That's what she said. I don't know what that means.
Oh man, oh man. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm getting thumbs down.
Mm.
You getting thumbs down. All right, guys.
You hate to see it.
You guys, tune in. Tune in. You guys are tuned in. Don't judge me. I'm not for special. Let us know who you think is the best. Ram Man. I applaud Mike. Mike really brought it today. Too Bad, which was mine, or Trap Jaw, which was Tom. Let us know who you think is number one.
The ring, by the way. This is the glow-in-the-dark ring from Trapjaw. So this is the ring he comes with, and it actually opens up right here too. I don't know what you're gonna put in there, but you could put a little something, glows in the dark. So it's actually pretty cool.
Maybe
so
you can
actually,
put the arm attachments in there. Oh no, they won't fit.
If we see a comment from Bill, Tom's number one fan, not number one fan anymore.
No, Mikey's.
Bill, thank you for. I appreciate it. This was, it was. I'd say it was a team effort, but my wife was not going to help me with this, so I did it all myself for this moment.
So, guys, are we saying Mike's Ram Man won? I mean, I'm definitely not going to argue if you guys.
I can't argue with it. He came with a fully prepared presentation.
I mean, yeah, I was pretty in shock. I felt like, I was in a fight, and all of a sudden I realized I didn't train hard enough.
Yeah, I realized the same thing.
Oh wait, I got a pick.
You got it?
Oh,
I think we.
Oh wait, we're getting a lot of. So we got Maurice is going with Too Bad.
Ah, come on, Bill.
Trapjaw.
Come on.
It's hard to be. Well.
Oh, Will's going with Too Bad. Oh, Maurice, I love you.
Hard to be Bobby, man.
All right, that means next time I'm going to have to bring even harder.
Oh, man.
Next time.
Oh, man.
No close rounds go to the champ.
That's true. That is true.
Oh, man.
Bill's coming in, though. It's the accessories, man. Glow-in-the-dark ring, all the different attachments. He comes with a belt. His jaw moved. He had the hook on the top of his head.
For some reason, I think Tom paid Bill. I mean, this guy Bill is just all over Tom today. He's all over Tom. All right, so what do we agree on? What do we think? What do we got here?
I don't know. Let's see. What do we got the votes here? I don't know. What do we got?
I mean, I got Will.
I'm seeing a lot of Too Bads here.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of Too Bad.
Maurice looks like he's got Bobby. Will's got Bobby. So 2 for Too Bad. Bill's got Trapjaw.
1 for Trapjaw.
I'm not actually seeing any for Ram Man though. That's the
yeah.
thing,
I don't know. Everybody. Yeah.
I'm seeing people saying that Mike had a great, 1 minute. It's true,
But
Tom.
Rounds longer than 1 minute.
I think Too Bad won here.
I think Too Bad won. How you gonna be two heads more?
Oh, Too Bad is.
I think Bobby makes the good point, and that's what's putting him over the top.
Wow, guys, I gotta say this was a great episode once again of talking about Masters of the Universe. Mike's 1 minute was
that one's going in the books. We got to say that
honorable mention. I will take it. I'll take that.
We are not gonna lie, Mike. That was definitely good. Mike, we definitely want you back. We have the next two are going to be next week. We're going to talk WWF LJN wrestlers, and then the week after that, we're going to talk Hasbro's, and we have guests for each of those. And then the week after that, we're probably going to close out the action figures for a little bit. And me and Tom were talking about it. Everyone keeps talking about Thundercats, but Thundercats only have one line, right, Tom?
I don't think there was too many figures with Thundercats.
I think they had.
I mean, it just had the main characters and a few
the-
bad guys, right?
The Thundercats, the mutants, Mumra, and maybe one or two scattering of like a one-time villain, but that was about
Yeah,
it.
so I feel like that might be a tough one to really.
So what we're gonna do is what we talked about. So the third week, Mike, we would love to have you back, and we're gonna do our top 5 action figures that has one or two lines, like Rambo, Food Fighters, Thundercats. So we're gonna combine
Random.
all those, which is gonna be hard. That's gonna be a very hard one because you could talk about a lot of different action figure lines in that top 5. But Mike, you actually kind of brought it up yourself earlier. I don't know if we were live when you were talking about that, but you were like, I had 5 of these, 5 of those. Well,
Yeah, that was.
you kind of brought it yourself into the episode by saying that. So in 3 weeks we will have that. Next week, guys, we will be talking about one of my favorite lines, which is WWF LJNs, and that's going to be the big figures as well as the dumb wrestlers we're going to be talking about. But that's next week, and we'll have a special guest. It won't be Brian Rockford because he got scared. It'll be Timmy from Spit the Truth will be here. But guys, thanks for tuning in. Any last words, Tom?
That is it. I am excited. I was happy for this episode. I was excited for it. You beat me into it today, and just with the two heads. I can't when Bobby comes in with his 1 minute, it's hard to beat him.
I mean, well, Mike brought it today. I'm not gonna lie. I was scared. He brought it.
So it's going to be another 3 weeks, but my prediction for 3 weeks is going to be pain.
I love it, Mike. I really
It's
love it.
going to happen.
You know what, Mike? You really stepped this up, and to be honest, I'm happy you brought it so well because I feel like this is going to juice up everyone else that comes on the show. I feel like you really stepped up your game, which really helped this whole podcast out.
I said we got to have fun with it. You got the video games, you got movies, you got TV, all the stuff from our childhood, the 80s, the early 90s, everything.
Yeah.
I'm an encyclopedia of useless info, so it's always fun to pull it out and just use it for an actual reason.
Man, that is a solid. Yeah, he definitely leveled stepped up the level.
Yeah,
that's right.
Definitely. Because then we're gonna go back after we finish the 3 weeks of the action figures. We're gonna shoot back to Super Nintendo. We didn't talk about Super Nintendo. We're gonna be shooting back to Super Nintendo, and then kind of talking video games, and then talking some random stuff, guys. So in the future, we're gonna be talking random stuff like the 5 best games you played outside, which is gonna be a crazy episode, and talking about 5 top foods you played with, top 5 foods you played with, top 5 foods you ate. Because I was
always told not to play with my food.
I wasn't allowed to do that.
Yeah. So after we get into the we're gonna go two episodes of wrestling, and then we're gonna go the 1 episode of random action figures, and then we're gonna go to Super Nintendo, and then some random stuff. But once again, guys, thanks for tuning in. Mike, big thank you. We really do appreciate you coming to the show because you really did step up the game for this whole podcast, and we do appreciate that.
Thanks for having me, man. It was fun. I love it.
Peace out, guys.
All right. Peace out.
Peace out.